Well, in case you can't tell by the sound, I am on the side of the highway. The bike stalled out because it overheated. It's too much sun today, and I think the last time that I did the coolant on it, I probably didn't drain the bike well enough. I probably only drained about half the system. So there you go. Uh, let's see. Cars, 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 cars. I'm sure there's probably plenty of wind noise. And that way, cars, 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 as far as the eye can see. So, have a little time on this side of the road. Somebody rolling by with some serious music bumping. It's funny because it was classical. So, got some time to sit around on the side of the road. Blessed to be able to find a little bit of a shady spot below a street sign, although the sun is creeping towards me. And wait for the bike to cool down. Ran to get gas, and after I left work and got on the road, and there was already some traffic because I was running a little late. Sure enough, I got about, I think it's about 10 miles, about halfway, and the bike was just too hot by that point in time and died out on me. And so I was, thinking about it and how things go, and it's sort of a parable, right? We get in the midst of all these other people, all these things going on, and the temperature gets turned up, and in a situation where we'd normally be fine, we'd be able to move right through it, be able to get past to the other side. We get slowed down in the midst of all the other people or all the other things that are going on, and we can't keep moving, and the temperature just rises and rises and rises, and eventually we just can't take it anymore and we burn out, right? That's part of, if you read the Bible, that's part of the reason why you have a Sabbath rest, why God was so insistent on it, because as human beings we need to take a rest, we need to take a Sabbath, and he instituted it to be once a week. In their case it was Friday night to Saturday morning. In the case of current Christians, it tends to be on Sunday, though some adhere to the Friday night, Saturday morning, or Saturday. I'm good, yeah. Another guy riding. Check out his bike. It's pretty sweet. So, other riders know, you overheat sometimes. Anyway, so, and if you try to keep going, if you try to keep running, if you try to not take that time, not take that break, not take that rest that was, built into the way that we operate, and if you try to just burn it at both ends, eventually it's going to catch up with you. There's another theory posited some time back about this idea of a sleep bank. This idea that, you have a certain amount of capital that's in the bank, and if you just continue to withdraw, your account gets overdrawn, and eventually you crash, right? And you can deposit, but one of the reasons why this theory sort of failed out is because you can't just take a month and sleep all day, every day, for hours and hours and hours on end, and then, think that you can go for the next 3 months straight without sleeping. So, but the idea is still an interesting one, because there is some truth to it. You do make withdrawals, and if you withdraw your account too much, then you burn. Had another friend of mine who decided he was going to try a sleep experiment, and he stayed up for 3 straight days playing video games, just wanted to see how long he could stay up for, and he hit the 3rd day, and he said that he started seeing things and hallucinating. He said it was like being on drugs. And, he would go into the bathroom to go use the toilet, and he's like, and I had to sit down on the toilet. I couldn't stand up and pee anymore. And he said he was, seeing demons and things in the mirror. I mean, just crazy stuff, right? And so he was walking down to the bathroom on this third day, somewhere around the middle or in the morning, and he said that he just sort of blacked out. And he woke up like a day later, about a day later, day and a half later, and he had passed out in the middle of the hallway on the way to the bathroom, and his family members knew him well enough that they just stepped right over him. They left him lying there, which there wasn't much they could have done anyway, and he was a big guy. But sleep, it's and rest in general, it's one of those things that you gotta have. You can't go forever and not take that break. So while I continue to let the bike cool down and I guess take the rest that it needs, you guys don't forget, take that rest that you need sometimes. Yeah. And make sure you take it with somebody sometimes too. There's nothing better than being able to take a rest with the person that you love the most, especially when you rest together. So hope you're well, and don't forget, there's lessons everywhere. The world's always trying to teach you things, and life, it's sort of a parable. Have a good one.